Hello there. My name is Moy with my co-host Corey. We are The Real Guys, and this is The Real Show with 2 ears. Today we'll be reviewing the newest limited series approaching Disney Plus. It is Star Wars Tales of the Jedi. May the Force be with you, and may the Force be with my co-host Corey. How are you doing today, Corey?
I am doing very well, thank you.
It's good to see you today, Corey. It's good to hear you, in fact. It's good to see you on our video version. You can watch our video version at the YouTube channel The Real Show.
Correct.
The YouTube channel The Real Show. The Real Show, real with 2 E's, show.
Yes.
Or listen to us on Amazon, Spotify, Podcast, Google Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcasts. We're there. You can listen to us. We're also on all those platforms.
Yes.
You can listen to them.
We're everywhere.
We're everywhere. Of course we are. We're
Everywhere
everywhere we
indeed.
need. We said that
Yes,
together.
we did.
We're reviewing Tales of the Jedi.
Correct.
And we're very excited for the series. I knew it was coming. I was looking for these, watching the trailers. I'm
Yes.
a big fan of Star Wars The Clone Wars. We're big fans of Star Wars The Clone Wars here, aren't we?
Exactly.
And we were very excited that the series was coming out.
Yes.
So take us into it, Corey. What did you think? Now, you actually watched this fairly recently.
This morning.
You watched this morning, on the day we were
Correct.
recording this. What were your thoughts?
So going into this, I was told by you to watch Star Wars Tales of the Jedi.
Yes.
I did not really know this was a thing.
No, you didn't know it was coming out. You didn't know anything.
All I knew was it's a short 6 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Every episode's like 15 minutes. Anthology series.
Short mini-series, anthology
That's
series from the same people that did Star Wars The Clone Wars.
Yes. And my head immediately went to Star Wars Visions.
Right, yes.
Which, by the way, and I keep forgetting this, and you keep forgetting this, we both keep forgetting this, actually got a 10 out of 10 from me. And we keep
Yes.
forgetting to mention the fact, anytime we mention what got a 10 out of 10, Visions is not, we keep forgetting I gave it one.
Did Visions get a 10?
I gave it a 10. I didn't recommend it, I gave it a 10 in the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought it was a 10. I still probably would still give it a 10.
Okay.
So I thought, okay, cool. 6 15-minute episodes.
Yeah, indeed.
Maybe.
Short series.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting 2 arcs.
Right.
I was expecting a Visions thing where it's 6 separate stories.
Okay.
Not like 3 episodes for
but
2
the episodes
characters.
are sort of separated in
Yeah.
the time period of which they take place, which
Yes.
kind of makes it an anthology.
Yeah.
You know, the same characters show up, but it's done in different time periods.
Yes.
The first episode we have it reflects on popular Star Wars character now and former Clone Wars creation,
Correct.
Ahsoka Tano.
Yes. Also appearing in Mandalorian.
Yes, also appearing in Mandalorian, played by Rosario Dawson.
Yes.
And now in her own series, in the Ahsoka series, which is coming next year or the year after.
Yeah.
But now we have Ashley Eckstein is happy to play Ahsoka in animation because she's a baby.
Yes.
But we see her home planet, Shirili, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
It's left kind of ambiguous as to whether it is that or not. We don't know. It's just a village on a planet, but there are certain things which can connect it to her home world, including the creature that she's
Yes.
taken by.
Yep.
That is
big tiger thingy.
yeah, the big sort of saber-toothed cat.
Yeah.
That takes her is relatively near enough to a species of predatory cat that is on her home world.
Yeah. Now, interestingly enough, on IMDb, so I'm just checking because I keep forgetting that you can get
Yes.
you can get reviews from each episode. Interestingly, and I wonder if you would also agree with this. Episode 1 is the lowest rated on IMDb, and I think I agree
You'd
with
agree
that.
with that? I think I probably agree with that. Yes.
I did
As
not
much as
like.
It's interesting for the world and how
Yeah.
Ahsoka came to be and how they discovered she was force sensitive.
Yes.
Of course, it's maybe I would have preferred the story that is often told by Ahsoka herself in the Clone Wars, where she talked about how Plo Koon arrived to rescue her and bring her to the Jedi Temple.
Yep.
Maybe I'd like to see that.
I
We've seen that before in flashbacks in the Clone Wars, but never the full actual event.
The only thing that put me off the first one is I don't know why, something about a baby Ahsoka just looks weird.
Right.
I don't know what it was, but I was watching it, and at a certain point, I'm like, that does not look right.
Mm.
It was like, for some reason in my head, verging on weird, like, uncanny valley territory. I don't know
Right,
why.
right.
I don't know, it just seemed a bit, not pointless, but I don't know, it was just a bit, it wasn't
So-
bad.
Well, it actually has a connection to Star Wars in another way.
Yeah.
Ahsoka's mother is played by Janina Gavankar,
Yep.
who you might know as Iden Versio from Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Okay.
Nice connection there.
But yeah, so the first episode is that essentially.
Yeah,
that's-
very. It's kind of middle. It's good for the story it's telling, of course.
Yeah.
But as for the greater connected narrative, maybe we could have seen something a bit more exciting, perhaps with Plo Koon or whatnot.
My other issue is, and we'll kind of get into this a bit later on, is that Ahsoka's getting her own series. So
Yes.
couldn't you have just done that in the series instead?
There's a lot of fleshing out of Ahsoka. Well, she's a Clone Wars. She was made in 2007 for the Star Wars
Yeah.
Clone Wars, the movie, and she was made for the whole series. And she has a great arc of how she becomes. People thought Ahsoka was the next Jar Jar when she turned up. People thought Ahsoka was the next Jar Jar Binks, but no, she evolved and she grew, and we all came to love her to now where she's a pivotal part of the franchise.
Yeah.
Where Ahsoka is very much a household name nowadays when you think in Star Wars. Thanks to the great push she's gotten from The Mandalorian and from the Clone Wars Season 8 and all this Disney Plus stuff, it's given Ahsoka a huge boost when more people know her now than ever.
Correct.
The next 2 episodes, though,
Yep.
are a story that I'm glad was told, that I didn't ever think would be told.
Mhm.
But the next 3 episodes
Yep.
delve deeply on Count Dooku
Correct.
of Sereno,
Yes.
and I was blown away. I was overjoyed by these episodes. These were all absolutely fantastic, every one of them.
Yeah. Again, so the first one is Count Dooku and
a young
Qui-Gon Jinn.
We're big fans of Qui-Gon Jinn on this show. We're big fans of Qui-Gon Jinn.
who is voiced by Liam Neeson.
It's not in this episode.
Not in
he's
this one, but in
he's voiced by his son in this episode.
yes.
Did you know
Later
that?
on, we get a bit of a
We
Neeson.
do get a Neeson. We do get a cheeky Neeson.
So the first episode, them two, they arrive on this planet and they're looking for the senator's son.
They're flying a Jedi T6 shuttle, which was used in the Clone Wars.
Of course
It's
you
an
know that.
earlier model. Of course, I know an earlier model of the Jedi T6.
Yep.
It's got the same design though, with the folding wings that turn sideways.
Yeah.
They do actually fly one in the next episode when they go to Raxus. Mace, Windu, and Dooku actually do fly the actual Jedi T6, but this was an earlier model because this is pre Phantom Menace, I believe. This first episode, because Qui-Gon is of course it is, because Qui-Gon's a younger man.
Yes.
And they talk about the Senate and they're trying to find this senator's son who's been kidnapped. I love the moment of they're all in the bar and the woman goes, "I will take you to the senator's son," and Qui-Gon goes, "You're the kidnapper."
Yeah.
And suddenly all the people
Everyone
in the bar
stands
stands up, and Dooku stands up and goes, "They all are."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, that's a great moment. That's such a Star Wars moment." And Corey Burton's working his butt off to do.
Yes.
He sounds very. He's got the young Christopher Lee, the young Christopher Lee mannerisms.
Yeah.
When you watch, I'm trying to think of a film that has a young Christopher Lee in it. I can't quite, but
I mean, he's been in. God knows how many
He's got like
films.
the kind of Wicker Man type level of
Yeah.
sort of a middle-aged kind of young Christopher Lee. That's what we're dealing with here. And he's got a blue lightsaber.
He
That's
does.
been established in many canons before.
Yeah, I
That's-
had to Google that
Right.
because I saw that and I thought,
That he wields the Jedi blue lightsaber.
Yeah.
He's still got his curved blade.
he does.
He's still got his curved Jedi lightsaber for duel. He's an expert duelist.
He is.
He's an expert. That's Count Dooku's
That's
Jedi skill. He's an expert. in
Definitely
dueling.
the reason. It's definitely not because Christopher Lee can fence.
Yeah. It's also because of the fence. It's developed on a rapier, which is
Yeah.
a fencing sword. But it's also because Count Dooku is an expert duelist.
Yes.
So he has a curved lightsaber to. Yeah, exactly. The senator arrives for his son
Yes.
with an armed camp,
Yeah.
and is met by Dooku and the townspeople who have taken the son to. Is it to hold him to ransom or to get the senator to release this sort of grip on the planet? Because this
Yeah.
happens twice. This happens once on this planet and again on Raxus.
Yes.
We sort of see there is doubt in the Senate because the Senate command the Jedi, the Senate and the Chancellor command the Jedi.
Yeah.
And the Jedi have become complacent in their role as peacekeepers, not actually serving the people of the Republic they claim to defend.
Yes.
Which Dooku says. Dooku says, "I do not serve the Senate. I serve the people of this Republic."
Yes.
And then he ignites his lightsaber, whoosh, and all the guards, get the guns up. And there's a firefight.
There is.
The classic lasers are flying. They're doing this defense, And the son, who is fine in this barn with this.
Yeah, he's
droid,
alright.
Yeah, he's kept well by these townspeople because they just want them to be let go of the senator's tyranny. And that's what Star Wars is all about. Star Wars is always about a redemption and fighting oppression. That's always what Star Wars has been about. Then they break out the barn. Qui-Gon's defending the senator's son, but he gets out because Dooku gets the old force choke on the senator, won't let him go. But it's up to the senator's son and Qui-Gon to convince Dooku. And Dooku's like, you should go back to the Senate and tell them this you will help this planet now.
Pretty much.
The first episode, very good story. For the 15 minutes, Clone Wars is a master at that. I always go on and on about how good the storytelling in the Clone Wars is to fit like a 20-minute, half an hour episode and get a full narrative out of that. If it's not an arc, a lot of the episodes in Clone Wars in the later half of the series where it goes into like season 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, there's a lot of arcs, but earlier there's just a lot of one-off episodes which are done really, really well. They do a lot of one-episode serial, like classic Star Wars serial storytelling.
Yeah.
And that's what every Star Wars film is based off. Those classic Flash Gordon serials, those samurai films, the serial films, and spaghetti westerns where you'd often get one narrative through one film and there'd be no sequel and anything else, and it'd be just a classic beginning to end. That's what Star Wars is based off.
Yes.
And I love that kind of thing. And it's true here as well. It's from the same people. It's from Dave Filoni and the crew of the Clone Wars.
Yeah, that is true. I didn't mind the second episode. Second one is pretty good.
Third episode where it kicks up though.
Third episode, yeah.
It's Dooku. It's Mace Windu.
It is.
It's Sizzling Sam Jackson.
Correct.
They're taking the shuttle down to Raxus Secundus, which is do you know Raxus? Do you recognise Raxus?
I know the name, but I don't know where from.
Because it becomes the capital of the Separatist Alliance in future.
Right.
Dooku returns to Raxus and names Raxus as the capital of the Separatists. It's where the Separatist movement was sort of born from. That and Sereno, which is Dooku's homeworld.
But no, yeah, the third episode's pretty good.
A Jedi's been killed, a Jedi's been murdered.
Yes, and Dooku doesn't believe it was an ambush.
Exactly. Dooku doesn't believe that it was just a random attack. He believes there was a motive.
Yes.
Him and Mace Windu head to the site with the Senator, who was there with the Jedi.
Yeah.
The Senator's story crumbles under interrogation, and he says, the guards did it.
Yes.
And then, bang, shoot the Senator dead.
Yeah.
Shooting the Jedi. But
yeah.
the Jedi, they're too strong. They're like the super samurai ninja monks. They're able to deflect the shots, take out all the guards, and then they're holding them lightsaber point. They say, why are you doing this? And again, it's the same reason. The dissent in the Senate, the fact that the Senator has been off-world on Coruscant, selling off Raxus piece by piece, selling all the landscape and all the foresting and he's turning it into an industrial world, and we don't want that. We just want a peaceful city life to live in. And Dooku resonates with Dooku.
Yes.
Dooku says himself that he understands the motive. He just wishes you'd gone about it a different way.
Yeah.
And that's how we leave that episode.
Correct.
Sowing the seeds for what will eventually become the Confederacy of Independent Systems, led by Dooku.
Correct. Fourth
Thoughts
episode.
on this episode?
Again, third one's good. I feel like... is it... maybe better than... I don't know if it is better than the second one, actually. It's better... Well, it's better than the first one, as in Ahsoka's episode. Mm-hmm. First one's pretty good. Second one gets potentially a bit better. Fourth one is probably the best, I think.
Right.
I feel like I'd say the fourth one's the best.
Right. The next episode, the fourth one, is entitled... These all have titles, by the way?
We do. In fact, here's a point. The title intros, I don't know if it's just me, because I expect Star Wars to have great intros.
Yeah.
I hate the intros in this.
Why? What's up with them?
Because it just goes... Tales from the Jedi and a logo fades away and then just
the episode title,
just like Justice. It's
Justice.
Just like really small on a black screen. I'm like, come on,
the Sith Lord.
Just do something better than that.
Well, the Clone Wars intros were amazing.
So
the narrator,
just give us like some, at least like a little.
There's been an attack on Christophsis. It's Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi try and contain the fighting with the clone army against the droids. And it's like, wow, you
don't have to go that far.
Yeah, that is a very.
But just give us more than like a little title.
Like a bit of a crawl. You want a log line for each episode.
I just want, if you can do a little fancy, because you have like the one before where like here's like all the helmets and all the lights flashing back. Just give us something, not just a little.
Maybe like my shirt. Maybe like all of the. I'm wearing a shirt with fancy maybe like all the lightsaber blades. Tales of the Jedi. Would that be cool?
Possibly. Just a bit more of a
little.
They're
all igniting. That's what I'm imagining. They're all like igniting in sequence, like, and then you see Tales of the Jedi. Oh wow, that's great. Iris, Disney Plus. Iris.
But no, they all do have titles. They're all
Episode
short,
4.
Short, sweet.
The Sith Lord.
Yes.
We have Liam Neeson.
Correct.
Qui-Gon Jinn. He's back.
Yes. Back for about.
There's always a bigger fish.
5 seconds.
Yes. Because this is mid Phantom Menace.
It is.
This episode takes place midway through the Phantom Menace to find out why Yaddle isn't at Naboo. Because Yaddle, as we know, Yaddle, famous Star Wars character Yaddle.
Oh, yeah,
We've talked about Yaddle before, I feel like.
We have, Phantom Menace.
Yeah, we have. And I think in that episode I posed the question of what do we think happens to Yaddle? Maybe I said that.
Maybe.
It's Yaddle and Yarrow Poof.
Yeah.
We need a Yarrow Poof episode to tell us the Jedi. What happened to Yarrow Poof? Why isn't he on?
Hopefully he got his head cut off.
Well, there is actually a comic story about what happened to him.
Okay.
He actually stopped some kind of death machine from blowing up Coruscant or something, and like Jango Fett was there, I think. It was some weird thing. It's in a comic.
Okay.
Anyway, we need that. We need that adapted. Adapt that for Tales of the Jedi.
Is that
Season
Legends
2.
now?
That is Legends now. Yeah, that's Legends now. Yeah. We'll get on to Legends in a minute, but with the Sith Lord, it's mid.
Phantom Menace.
Phantom Menace. This is probably the best episode of the series. I
think so.
Because of how much it ties into and how much it relates to not only Episode 2 Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace, but how much it ties into all of them.
Yes.
To the fact that we have, it's midway through and we see that Yaddle was not at Qui-Gon's funeral.
No.
We don't know what happened to her. And this explains that.
Yes.
And it does contradict a few things, I'll get onto that, but we start off with Dooku going into the Jedi archives. An older Dooku, he's got his beard, he's got his cape, he's got his ready. He's basically just Christopher Lee in it.
Pretty much.
And he's using Cypher Diaz as Jedi authorization code to get into the archives to remove the planet Kamino.
Yes.
Now, at this point in the timeline, Dooku is not in the Jedi Order.
No.
He's friendly with them. He's still on their side. He's still friendly with them, and they do allow him in the temple, but he's not a part of the Order. He's giving it up, his Jedi mastership, right?
Yes.
And Yaddle knows this. That's why Yaddle is very sort of sensitive with him, saying, "Oh, better times and whatnot." And he's talking to Qui-Gon, and Dooku's like, "Yes, I would like to meet Obi-Wan one day." And they do, in fact. They meet on Geonosis.
Yep.
When Obi-Wan is captured by the Geonosians, and Dooku talks to him, and he says, "Oh, Qui-Gon always spoke very highly of you. I wish you were still alive. I could use his help right now." That's what Dooku says. And then Kenobi says, "Qui-Gon Jinn would never join you." And then Dooku says something about Qui-Gon. He says, "You forget, he was once my apprentice, just as you were once his.
Yes.
He knew all about the corruption in the Senate, but he would never have gone along with it if he had learned the truth as I have." And Obi-Wan says the truth, and then Dooku says the truth. "What if I told you that the Senate was under the control of a Sith Lord called Darth Sidious?" And we see Darth Sidious in this episode. Because Dooku, annoyed that the fact that Qui-Gon has been killed, has died on Naboo, killed by Darth Maul, goes to the Works District of Coruscant, the industrial district. There's big buildings. We see them in Episode 2. We see them in Attack of the Clones. It's where Dooku meets with his master, who is Darth Sidious, also known as
Palpatine.
Chancellor Sheev Palpatine. Yes. Palpatine. He's back in this, voiced by Ian McDiarmid. I knew instantly that it was him. From the first line, I was like, "Yes, that's exactly it. That's amazing. Just get him to do Palpatine from now on. If he wants to. Of course he does."
I mean, at this point, no one's going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Ian Abercrombie's unfortunately passed away. Yeah. And Tim Curry isn't doing voice work anymore. Yeah. So it's up to Ian McDiarmid. He's the best man for the job. Yeah. Get Ian McDiarmid back. Exactly. And he knew it as soon as he said, "I don't know what you mean. I lost an apprentice. You lost an apprentice, and so did I. Yeah. All in the service of our greater goals." Like, yes! I love Ian McDiarmid so much. You know, I nearly met him once. You know that? Yes. I was at Birmingham Comic Con in November actually, and it was Ian McDiarmid and Hayden Christensen, and I heard him on stage. I heard Ian McDiarmid on stage, and I later saw him from a distance. I never saw Hayden though. Hayden was always called by crowds of people, as you could imagine, swarms of people. But no, I did see Ian McDiarmid in real life. I was like, there he is. There's the Chancellor. Yeah, there's the Senate himself.
I feel like this episode, as far as the series goes, this episode is probably the best one ever.
Yeah, this is probably the most superior episode, I've got to say.
Because it does add more things to the whole thing of, okay, well, let's say Qui-Gon didn't die to Darth Maul. Yeah. It adds two things of, one, would Qui-Gon then join Dooku, or would Dooku
have not turned?
Yeah. Because Qui-Gon's there. Yeah. There's also asked another weird question of, why does Yaddle speak normal?
Why does Yaddle speak? This question was heavily debated up to the release of...
Yeah.
We've never heard Yaddle talk before.
Nope. Everyone I think just assumed she would speak like Yoda.
The same as Yoda, yes. But she doesn't.
No.
you think she sits across in the Jedi Council chamber and hear Yoda speaking is like...
She's sat there like, for God's sake.
It's like, I think it's more like, are you all right, Yoda? Is something wrong? He's like, nothing wrong is. Yes. They're like,
it's got dropped as a
Yoda,
child.
something's wrong with you, Yoda. Because we see Yoda a bit in this. Yoda appears in the training scene with Ahsoka. He appears in the Jedi Council scene and the funeral of the Jedi with Dooku and Mace. And he appears in this as well. And yeah, there was a lot of debate of whether Yaddle would have the voice, Yaddle would have the backwards speech. But no, Yaddle speaks normally, just like anyone does. And you're like, so Yoda's like the odd one out. People saying if when Grogu grows up, is Grogu going to speak backwards because he's a male? Maybe males of the species talk like that. Maybe
weird.
Yoda's just a odd one out.
Yeah.
Yoda was just the odd one out of the species who sort of developed to speak like that. We don't know.
There'll be some weird thing where it'd be like Yaddle was raised around humans, therefore she developed their speech pattern or something.
Yeah. That's how Yoda's species speaks from whatever planet they're from. We don't know what Yoda's species is. Never been revealed.
I don't know. We might even never know.
Probably never know what Yoda's species is. Maybe not. But I hope in my lifetime we get to learn what Yoda's species is. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, Yaddle is very suspicious of Dooku's activities.
Yes. They
meet him by the Jedi tree, which we have seen in a Star Wars comic that Luke actually recovers after the events of Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
That Jedi is also featured in the Clone Wars. There was Yoda has a flashback.
He does.
Where he sees Dooku and Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan together around that tree and all the Jedi, and he sees that if the war hadn't started, and he sees all of what could have been the happy world that could have been. Right, we see that tree as well.
Yes.
It was focused on a lot in the Clone Wars for the Jedi Temple and whatnot. The trees there, and Dooku says that he used to take Qui-Gon to this tree to show him the organic life because Qui-Gon was born on Coruscant. What people don't know, Qui-Gon was born on Coruscant, and he's never seen it. He's never seen it before.
Yes.
So he shows him he always shows him this tree.
Yes.
And now that Qui-Gon's gone, he's never going to see it again.
Yes.
So Dooku goes to meet with Palpatine.
Correct.
And he's in his episode 2 robes. He's Senator Palpatine, I believe. No, he's Chancellor by then, I believe. He just got elected. Wait, no, he's still Senator Palpatine.
Yeah.
Because he gets elected at the end of the film. Maybe he was just elected. We don't know.
We don't know.
He's in the process of becoming Chancellor.
Yes.
He's in the process of becoming Chancellor. I don't know how the elective terms work in the Republic, but he's in the process of becoming Chancellor. And Dooku is there to speak with him to say, "You allowed Maul to kill him. You allowed Maul to kill Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
I won't allow. He could have been a powerful ally." And then Palpatine has none of it. He's like, "It doesn't matter. We need to pursue. I will ask you to do more things. I will ask you to lead the new world we are creating." Then Yaddle turns up. Yaddle gets out a little green lightsaber. She's like, "This stops here. This is the end." He's gonna stop all these shenanigans. She's gonna stop him. And of course, Palpatine, the puppet master, he controls the cage and controls the stage. He's got his hands in all the pies. He says to Dooku, "I've been betrayed. You must kill her. Do it." I'm surprised he didn't say that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we didn't get to do it.
No.
I was looking forward to do it. We didn't get that. I like to think maybe he thought. I like to think maybe he said it to himself before Yaddle and Dooku were engaged. But they are. Dooku says he can't allow Yaddle to leave. Obviously, she's discovered the existence of this Grand Sith Lord Darth Sidious and Chancellor Palpatine. So Dooku has to get out his lightsaber. And it's a lightsaber duel. Dooku, he's forced to fight little green people all the time.
Yeah.
Dooku's forced to fight little green Muppets who can fly around and use little green lightsabers. He's forced to fight them all the time. I bet he's sick of it. I bet he wants to just punt them.
Yeah.
He's sick of these little green people flying around him, wielding lightsabers. Even though it's a good continuity as to why Dooku is so good at fighting Yoda in Attack of the Clones. Not because Dooku's a great duelist, he is, but also because he's fought someone of Yoda's species. He's fought Yaddle, so he knows the fighting style of their species.
Yes.
The lightsaber fighting style. So Dooku and Yaddle are to fight each other in this lightsaber battle. I like these nice quick movements. Lightsaber fights, very prequel-esque.
Yes.
Yaddle flips over the ship. Dooku just uses the Force. Boom, throws that ship. Yaddle is stuck under the sort of...
It's like a gate.
Door, gate, hangar door thing. And Dooku brings it down on her. Bang.
Yep.
Then Palpatine's like, he's laughing. He's well done, my apprentice. You have done well. You have done well," is what he says. And then Yaddle does she forces it up, and the Star Wars theme swells. She raises up the gate, and the sun's behind her. That's such a good shot. And she gets her lightsaber back, and she's ready to fight, but she can't. She used a lot of energy to lift that massive gate up. She just falls down. She falls out the gate. She can't. It shuts. And I like that because there was symbolism from, I don't know who it was, probably Star Wars Explained or something, a YouTuber. I watched a video of after I saw the series that said that was like Dooku's last chance to come back to the light, because Yaddle never lets up that Dooku can come back to the light side of the Force. Like, you don't have to go down this dark path, Dooku. You don't have to pursue these dark ways, but he has to.
Yeah.
For what he wants to achieve, and the fact he doesn't trust the Senate and the Jedi's involvement in the running of the galaxy. So, and he has to join this Sith Lord.
If only Yaddle had just stayed on the other side of that door.
Yeah.
Possibly survived.
Gone back to his ship. Maybe things would different, but no.
Just walked in and gone, by the way, I just fought Dooku over there.
Yeah, he's with this Sith Lord, this guy who sounds exactly like Chancellor Palpatine. Then
sounds just like you actually. Can you repeat some lines for me, please?
Yaddle falls out the door. She's too weak to fight. Yes. And Palpatine goes over, yes, do it, kill her.
See, there was none of that either.
He doesn't say do it.
No.
I wish he would have said do it. Did you see that clip of Ian McDiarmid talking about the Star Wars Celebration?
I know exactly where you're going with this.
Where he says, he's talking about the scene where he knights Anakin Skywalker as Darth Vader.
Yes.
And his voice is really hoarse. And we assumed that it was because that was done in post, because his vocal cords get fried by the lightning. That's the canon explanation. That when he's reflecting the lightning at Windu, and Windu's reflecting it back at him at the end of episode 3.
Yes.
The lightning is shot back into Palpatine's face. It disfigures his face, and it scorches his voice. That's why his voice is permanently stuck like that.
Yes.
Right? Actually, that's not the truth. That's because there were several ginormous fans being blown into the face of Ian McDiarmid, blowing all of his fake hair up and whatever.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of dust, and most of it seemed to go down his throat that day. And he was speaking to George Lucas. He sat there on this panel retelling this story, and he says, I speak to George. It was an end of a Friday afternoon. I speak to George, and George says, "Well, just do it." Yes, do it.
Yeah.
And then the crowd goes wild, right? Because basically all they want to do is the actors to get up and do the memes.
Yes.
That's funny, isn't it?
That's what they want.
That's what they want. Palpatine says, "Do it." He says, "The tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise." He does all of it. You know, Tamura Morrison's doing like a bantha.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing it, right? James Arnold Taylor and who is actually in this? James Arnold Taylor does play Obi-Wan in one of the episodes of this. And Ewan McGregor is up there saying hello there.
Yeah.
Matthew Woods saying General Kenobi, all that kind of thing. When I met Matthew Woods in Comic-Con in last year, I approached him and the first thing I said was hello there, and he caught it. Oh, good times. But Dooku does slay Yaddle.
Correct.
Dooku does kill Yaddle.
Give the Yaddle peace.
Yes, gives Yaddle peace.
Yeah.
And that is the end of...
That's the end of
Yaddle.
Yep, and the
episode
Yaddle.
4.
And Dooku's kind of arc in this series.
Yes, and he finally turns to the dark side.
Correct.
And works with Palpatine to create the Separatist Alliance, manufacture the clones, and begin the Clone Wars.
Yep.
Then intentionally loses the Clone Wars at the Battle of Coruscant, and gets beheaded by Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah. What a
good job, Dooku.
Yeah, great one, Dooku. There.
Shout out to you. Yeah, good job there, Dooku.
Yeah.
I bet they're going to retcon it. So when he was on his knees with his hands chopped off, he was thinking about, if only I'd believed Yaddle.
Yeah, if only I didn't execute Yaddle.
If only I didn't execute Yaddle. He's looking at Palpatine with that sort of shocked look.
Yeah.
Not saying anything. Because apparently in the script, Dooku was supposed to beg for his life. But Christopher Lee said, that don't work for me, brother.
Yeah.
And said, I'm not having Count Dooku beg for his life. He's just going to look really shocked and scared, which he does.
Yes, and if you are anyone and Christopher Lee says anything, you do not disagree with him.
Exactly, Peter Jackson knows that.
You go, yes.
You know what it's like to be stabbed in the back, Peter?
You go,
I
yep.
know.
You go, yep. Okay.
I know what it's like, Peter.
That's fine. That's good. Good with me, Chris.
You know what kind of noise is made when someone's stabbed in the back? I say because I do. I'll never get over that clip, ever. Amazing.
Yeah, that is it.
That's great episode 4, by the way. 10 out of 10. I love it.
Oh, God.
Episode 4 is absolutely the best.
Okay.
Next episode is back to the Ahsoka story.
Yeah, we're right back. It's practice makes perfect.
Yes, with Anakin Skywalker again voiced by Matt Lanter.
Yes.
D. Bradley Baker is back as the clones and Captain Rex.
Yep.
James Arnold Taylor as Obi-Wan Kenobi. We see training with the training droids, Ahsoka in Jedi Temple. I'm about to say a lot of Jedi Temple, but of course it means a lot of Jedi, because it's Tales of the Jedi.
Yep. In walks Anakin.
Funny, isn't it funny that the episode that's called The Sith Lord,
Yeah, I know.
focused mainly on the dark side and the
Yeah.
Sith, is the best episode in Tales of the Jedi.
Yeah.
The
But no, in walks Anakin, who is
Anakin.
directly on time.
Yep. And Obi-Wan says, "You mean you're late?"
Yes.
Well, no, he says, "I thought it was late." Is what Anakin says. He says,
Yes.
"Yes, that's what I meant."
Yes.
And he later repeats that. He says that to
He does.
Ahsoka because he's obviously learning to off Obi-Wan.
Yes.
And Anakin watches her train with his droids.
Yeah.
He says, "Oh, this isn't a real test. You can do better than learning with those stupid
Yeah.
floating balls."
Classic Anakin does not like how it's done.
No, just not exactly. Very true. Doesn't like how it's done and wants to do it his own way.
Yes.
So he brings Ahsoka into the Republic hangar at this base.
Yeah.
That base has been seen before. Actually, that's the Republic military compound that's run by. I don't know if it's run by them, but in the Clone Wars series, it's run by Admiral Tarkin. Maybe in this series, probably not. He's probably with the EVP at this stage of the war. But Anakin greets Ahsoka and says, "I've got a test for you.
Ooh.
I'm going to have my clone men line up
Yep.
in a circle formation. They're going to take shots at you. You've got to feel where the next shot is going to come
Yes.
from. So you've got your lightsaber, and you can deflect the bolts as they're coming in, stun bolts, right?
Yeah.
First view, not very good. She's not very
No.
good. She can't really sense the clones and their shots. They just, tag her with the bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
And every time she's out for like an hour or two.
Yeah.
Probably, I want to see the clones' perspective, where they're just waiting there for like.
Stood there.
So they're just, is she woken up yet? I don't know, I've got places to be.
Yeah.
Jesse's in this episode. Do you remember Jesse from the Clone Wars? He's actually the clone that ends up executing Order 66 on Ahsoka. He's the first clone that takes a shot at her, which is funny. And he does that meme, the sort of Hot Fuzz meme, of the guy turning around and going, "Hello."
Yeah.
You've seen that?
I have seen
it.
that.
Says, Captain Rex goes, "Yeah, I'm sorry about that blast, Commander. Jesse really tagged you." And Jesse turns around and goes, "Sorry, Commander," from behind her. That was a nice little moment. Then she does it again and again and again, and eventually she gets better.
Yep.
Next, we see a flash forward.
Yeah.
She's on the Venator. It's season probably 3 or 4 of the Clone Wars when she got a remodel. She's in a sort of Padawan Jedi apprentice garb. Not a sort of very early Padawan.
Yeah.
That she was wearing. They kind of updated a model on that as well. And she's got her 2 lightsabers
Correct.
now. Not just the one. She's got a Shoto blade as well, which is a shorter one.
Which surely makes it a bit easier.
Mm-hmm. And they're Phase 2 clones. Not only that, they're also 501st Legion clones.
Yes.
The 501st Legion clones, which is Anakin's Legion.
Yes.
And Anakin is there. Captain Rex, of course, in his Phase 2 armor with his rangefinder and all of his gear.
Yep.
He's there, and but she lasts 5 minutes against all the regular clones. But
Correct.
Captain Rex is bam, 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 bam.
Shoots her.
Shoots her straight in the face.
Yeah.
And this actually tags to something because it's not my weekly rec this week.
No, it's
if
mine.
It would have been. I can tell you this. I've got a Star Wars character encyclopedia, much like the one that you perhaps own.
I have one, yeah.
And in Captain Rex's page, it says, they've got those things where it points like, have you seen the Count Dooku meme where it's like signature look of superiority? There's Captain Rex, there's a point to his pistols, and it says that the speed of twin pistols gives Captain Rex a edge on the battlefield or something like that. I'm like, so he's faster with the quick draw guns.
Yeah.
That's why he's quick. He's a quick shot. However, then we flash forward again from that scene, and that's a quicker one.
Yes.
To right before the scene in the finale of the Clone Wars, where they're on that Venator heading towards Coruscant from Mandalore to arrest Darth Maul and bring Darth Maul back to Coruscant, where they're facing down against the Legion of 332nd and 501st Troopers, and Jesse is there as well. Captain Rex has had his inhibitor chip removed. Order 66 has been executed.
Correct.
And they're having to fake Ahsoka's capture. And Captain Rex says, "I hope all your training's paid off."
Yes.
On deflecting those clone bolts. And that's just really emotional.
Yeah.
Scene. I'm so glad they tied all that together. This is probably my second favourite episode. Just because the fact it takes us through the entirety of the Clone Wars series in little snippets.
I would probably agree. I think.
Probably.
Yeah.
Supposedly. Why is that?
I think I'd agree. I think in order of... like I said, the first one's my least favourite. The fourth one is my favourite. I would say this is up there. The final episode, I didn't mind. I think the final episode, which is called Resolve, is a bit also maybe in the middle, possibly. Because again, Ahsoka's back.
Back to episode 6, we are brought to episode 3 at the start of this episode. It's Padme's funeral.
Yes.
We see they basically recreate the shot from episode 3 where they're looking over the waterfront on Naboo, and Padme's parents are there, and the Queen and Jar Jar and Boss Nass and everyone's there. Funny they didn't show Jar Jar. Would be a nice time to.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Then Mon Mothma is there from
Correct.
Andor and Rogue One and whatnot, and the Clone Wars, of course, and Bail Organa.
Yeah.
Senator Bail Organa is there. We see that the senator spies someone in the crowd of Padme's funeral.
Yes.
Who is it? Ahsoka.
Yes.
With a little candle. So she is canonically now in episode 3.
Yeah.
You don't see her.
No.
But she's there.
She's around.
She's there. She's in that crowd. And then we see the scene. Now this is lifted straight from the Ahsoka novel. This is taken from the novel by E.K. Johnston, I believe her name is.
Okay.
She wrote an Ahsoka novel years ago, right? Like 20. It's one of the first ever canon novels to come out. You can probably look it up. She wrote this novel when it first kind of came out to adapt the story of not only the Battle of Mandalore and the Siege of Mandalore, but also how Ahsoka left the battle with Darth Maul and lived on a peaceful farming planet under the name Ashla, but she was uncovered by the sixth brother, an Inquisitor, right?
It was published October 11th, 2016.
Oh right, okay, that's a few years after the acquisition of Disney then by
Yes.
Lucasfilm by Disney, so 2016.
Yes,
Still.
and it was outlined by David Filoni.
Okay, there
So
we
it was
go.
based off of an outline.
Yes,
and
based off an outline. Yeah.
was written by E.K. Johnston.
Okay, thank you. And it's a good book as well. I've read parts of it. It's a very good book, but it's mostly been retconned to absolute crap now.
Yeah.
Because everything in it is basically different or some way different. Like, he still has her green lightsabers in the story. She doesn't. She has blue lightsabers in the Siege of Mandalore. She traps Maul using ray shields. That's not true. She traps him on the end of that bridge when all of the clones wire him up. You know, she doesn't escape on a Venator. All of it's changed basically.
Yeah.
Apart from the fact that her and Captain Rex leave together and eventually she meets Bail Organa. That's all kind of muddled now. So basically the books... And there's a funny thing where, again, to get into canon and legends, where they're almost making the books legends in a way.
Yeah.
Where book canon doesn't really matter to Shocker. And I don't like that, because what they need to do is... What they established is, when Disney bought Star Wars, we retconned the entire of the EU, the expanded universe.
Yep.
And all of that, it doesn't matter, it's legends, it didn't happen, right?
Yes.
We're going to establish a canon and we're going to have one through-line story, right? But the only thing they kept was the Clone Wars and all the films and the new trilogy which they made, right? But the problem is, there's going to be overlap.
Yeah.
Someone's going to do something that's different just to what someone else has done. And it would have been nice for them to say, hey, there's this book that came out in 2016. It's like Fest. Remember Fest from the Andor thing?
Yeah.
Now they paid attention to Fest and they worked it into the story. They could have done that with this book, and I don't know why they didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know why anyone didn't think to bring this book up.
Yeah, it's a fair
The
point.
fact that she's still called Ashla, and that's all kept, and the Inquisitor does still arrive. The beats are there. The beats of the book are there.
Yes.
But it's not exact. So if you read the book, so if someone watches Tales of the Jedi,
Yep.
here's a bit of, oh, I'm going to read this book. The book will be different. And that'll
Yeah.
be strange to them, and I just feel like there's not been much consideration, and for a $1 billion company like Disney and Lucasfilm to not pay attention to something like that, especially with canon where Star Wars, where it's so particular, where every little funky flippy detail will be brought up, like Fest, like the fact that Dooku would have left the Jedi Order by the time Episode 4 comes around, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. It's again the episode. I've literally just got an article up now as well. The episode's alright. I've got an article up now which is asking a question of who is the Inquisitor at the end of the episode.
I don't believe it is the sixth brother.
It's not.
It's a new Inquisitor.
Because everyone's saying that the book you're on about from 2016 is canon.
Yeah.
Currently. And the way that it ends in canon, spoilers for the book.
Yeah.
Is
the
that
book came out in 2016 that has been retconned by now, so it doesn't even matter.
No. Because the sixth brother, everyone's like, oh, the sixth brother is one that hunts down Ahsoka, and so everyone's like, okay, that makes sense for it to be the sixth one. But the sixth brother dies by Ahsoka pulling out the kyber crystals from his lightsaber, which blows the lightsabers up.
Yeah.
And that's how she gets her white lightsabers. Whereas in this, that doesn't happen.
No, it just cuts his head off.
Yeah.
And it's in 2 moves as well. That is the most crappiest Inquisitor. And I've seen some bad Inquisitors. That is the most crappiest Inquisitor I've ever seen.
Yes. So it
Strange, 'cause
seems
he looks really cool. He looks
that's-
amazing. He's got
yeah.
that sort of Plague Doctor crow face mask,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you look badass.
You look great, but you've been
Voiced by Clancy Brown.
Yeah.
If you were in like Rebels or something, you'd be like a major season
Yeah.
villain. You'd be like
you look great, but you've been like killed off right now.
right now. But he's got a great voice. He's like you think you can par with the Empire? Where's the Jedi?
You know
My
what?
goodness,
If
this guy.
if we were doing we did this back in May, I think it was this year, or like top 10 or top 5 background characters,
Right.
he would now be in that because I want to see more of him.
This one Inquisitor.
Yeah.
I don't even think he's got a name.
No, he hasn't.
All right.
From what I can gather, everyone's just calling him the New Inquisitor.
New Inquisitor. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. He's the flipping 26th brother or whatever he's called. Right.
Yeah.
Clancy Brown Inquisitor. Anyway, Clancy Brown Inquisitor arrives at the village because she gets sold out. She's
Yes.
hiding as Ashla
Yeah.
in this little farming village, which is true from the book.
Yes.
She gets sold out by this guy. Apparently, all their names have changed as well. Apparently, there was an entire cast of this village that was brought up in the book, and now all their names have been changed
Great.
by this series. Exactly, yeah. And he sells her out because he sees her using the Force. So apparently, that's the same. Apparently, someone in the book does sell her out because he finds her using the Force, whatever. As I said, the beats are there.
Yeah.
But it's just everything else is different.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, the beats are there and everything's different. She saves someone using the Force. The lad sees it. The lad calls in the Inquisitor. The Inquisitor ransacks the village and burns it down.
Yes.
Then Ahsoka arrives. Ahsoka dispatches the Inquisitor in very quick fashion.
Yeah.
And very badly trained Inquisitor there. And his head deflates.
Yeah, I
What is up
noticed
with that? I thought
that.
he just knocked his helmet off. I'm like, oh, is he going to be a creepy alien man? No, his head's kind of like
See,
a balloon.
see,
like
I
a
noticed
wet
that.
balloon just sort of
Yeah.
flattens down.
I
Is
thought
that Star Wars?
I thought it was gonna be like revealed, but it's like some weird fake thing, and the actual Inquisitor's somewhere. I don't know. Some
Right,
weird
okay.
like that's not the
Like
real
it's a droid,
one.
Like it's a drone
Yeah.
or something, right? Yeah.
But no, I guess that's.
I thought she
that's
just knocked
the
his
thing.
helmet off. And all right, cool. We're gonna have to see like an alien face or something. Or maybe it's Barry Softly or someone she knows.
Yeah.
You know? No, it's because he said it's you. It's Ahsoka Tano. And I'm like, oh, I see you know her. That's
Yeah.
nice. You could be someone that Ahsoka knows. No, you're just a random Ahsoka Inquisitor
Yeah.
who you get your head chopped off by
Yeah.
your own lightsaber.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's it. Goodbye. Hello.
Good. Yeah. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Here's your hot dog, your handshake.
Pretty much.
Then Ahsoka says, "You need to get out of here.
Yep.
Everyone's dead. The village is burned down." So what they do is she uses her sort of Captain Marvel one-time communication
Yeah.
to establish communique with Senator Organa,
Yep.
who arrives on the Tantive 4, the CR-90 Corellian Corvette. He arrives on his big ship and takes away the villagers who have survived.
Yeah.
And he says to Ahsoka, "Do you feel like now do you want to join the fight against the Empire?" Ahsoka looks up and goes, "Yeah, all right."
Yeah. And that's it.
Then and she becomes Fulcrum.
Yep.
Well, I think Fulcrum in season 1 was
Yeah.
Ahsoka of the Rebels, and then in season 2 it was Agent Kallus. Spoilers.
Yes.
But she becomes Fulcrum to lead the rebel groups and to lead Phoenix Squadron, who includes Kanan Jarrus,
Yes.
who makes a cameo in this series as Caleb Doom, his other name, his real name. He's in this with his master Depa Billaba during the Ahsoka training scene.
Yeah. And well, that is it.
And that is Tales of
That's
the Jedi.
Tales of the Jedi.
We were going to rate every episode individually, but I feel like we should rate the series as
Yeah.
a whole.
So
Before you get to a rec. So
Yes.
what is your...
7.
I'm going to go 8.
Okay. I'm only giving it a 7 because I don't think the series is bad.
It's going to get another season.
Yeah. I think the series is good. I wish it focused on someone else other than Ahsoka.
Yarrow Poof.
No.
Yes. No,
no.
I want this. I want Yarrow Poof to get an episode of Tales of the Jedi. Please. Someone do it. Season 2, Yarrow Poof. Hashtag Yarrow Poof in Tales of the Jedi.
Okay.
I want it.
Right.
Hashtag Yarrow Poof in Tales of the Jedi.
Okay.
I want to see it. Please.
But I wish it was someone else but Ahsoka. She's getting her own series.
Yarrow Poof.
You can just do it in that.
Right.
I liked Visions because Visions focused on people we didn't know who existed. I liked Rogue One and Andor because it's people who we don't know or don't know much about.
Yes.
Now, Count Dooku, fine, because it's
But it was a
Dooku.
period in Dooku's life where
Yeah.
it's very...
I just want more either newer people or people we don't know as much about, or maybe
Yeah.
even people who won't get their own series.
Like Plo Koon.
Yeah, People who like will never get their own series. They'll
Plo Koon's
never
not gonna
get
his
their
own
own.
series.
So give them this instead.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm giving it a 7. Maybe season 2 will do that. Maybe we'll get Yarapoof. Maybe get a bit more Kit Fisto.
Kit Fisto, exactly. Kit Fisto.
People we don't see
Tid,
much.
Plo Koon,
Yeah.
you know, Aegon Kolar. You know who he is?
No.
Okay.
Bidlo Quirv.
Bidlo Quirv, the guy with the weird eyes, whatever he's called. Coleman Kajai.
Okay.
Coleman Trebor, you know. I'm trying to think of other obscure. Oppo Rancisis.
Nice.
Do you know who he is?
No.
Okay. He's a guy with like a snake tail. He's got a big beard.
Oh,
I bet you've seen him before.
Yeah. But yeah, so
Exactly.
7.
We want more of that, more of the stories like that. You know,
Yeah.
more obscure stories of Jedi characters, and maybe like Quinlan Voss. You know Quinlan Voss?
No.
You know Quinlan Voss?
No.
He's got a yellow stripe around his face, and he's got like long hair.
Very helpful.
He's got a green lightsaber. He's a very famous sort of grey Jedi. There's a book about him with a Sarge Ventress.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know Quinlan Voss.
Yeah.
He could easily have a couple episodes, an arc on this. He's like an underworld Jedi. He like solves like seedy crimes in the underworld. That kind of guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Just give us new or just people who won't get their own.
Exactly.
Thing.
People who won't get their own, who don't want to give their own series.
Yeah.
To give them, you know, Kit Fisto, Plo Koon, Yarapoof, anyone, just Jedi characters.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is, in the prequels, there's loads of cool extras. Loads of cool minor characters we never see again, who have got really cool and unique designs that the prequels are full of. That we could just give, you know, Ayla Secura, right?
Exactly.
People like that. Anyway, what is our weekly rec
So
this week? Is it Star Wars themed? Is
Kind
it
of.
Jedi themed?
I was torn between two things,
Okay.
and I still am torn between two things to the point where I don't even know which one I'm going to give you.
Right.
But
Pick one.
we're going to do Star Wars again, so I'm probably going to get another chance to recommend the other
Yes.
thing. So I'm going to recommend this first. It was Halloween recently.
Oh, he was.
Did you have any?
We're recording this on November.
Did you have any
right?
candy?
In November.
Any sweets?
I had a crunchy bar. Does that count?
Do you know what I think about sweets?
What?
They got to be called cavities on a stick.
Oh, right.
do you know
Is
who that's
this?
from? Yeah.
I do know where this is from.
What's it from, Murray?
This is from Christopher Lee's famous role as Willy Wonka's father
Yeah.
in Johnny Depp's
Yes.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Correct. I'm recommending trying Chocolate
Oh
Factory.
my goodness, Corey. We could do an entire episode on this. So
Yeah.
don't give it 10 if you're going to give it.
I'm not giving it
Okay.
a 10. But no, I'm recommending because why not?
Isn't that a Christmas film? We can do that in December if you like.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah. Why not?
It's kind of a Christmas film. You know what? We'll do that in December. December, we're going to do Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. We're going to do Johnny Depp's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
Lollipops. I know all the quotes are going back now.
Yeah.
Cavities on a stick.
Oh, I was about to say it's such a good film.
I haven't seen my cuspids like these.
Yeah. It's not a great film.
Christopher
It's-
Lee's in it though.
Yeah, no, it
He
is.
is great. That's every line ever I've said. Often Christopher Lee's in a lot of I don't want to say bad, but B movies that a lot of people don't see, and he's
Yeah.
in a lot of them. But he's always good in them.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, that movie was very good, but Christopher Lee was great.
Yeah.
That's what you want to say. That's the line.
Pretty much.
We're big Christopher Lee fans
Yes.
of the real show.
So yeah, I'm gonna recommend Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
R.I.P. What are you going to give it as far as the real rating goes?
I was gonna give it a 7. Is 7 a bit high?
That's 2 sevens. You've just.
I know. Is 7 a bit high? If I give it a 7, it'd be for different reasons than Tales Jedi, by the way. I'm
If
not
you give
saying
it a
for the same.
6, I feel like 6 might not be enough for it.
No, but in a 6.5.
6.5.
See, I don't mind that. I don't mind with Johnny Depp film.
Okay.
I don't hate it.
Do you think it compares to maybe we should save this for the actual episode we're gonna do?
Yes. That's
So,
it. Tune in for that.
Yes, tune in for that coming in December.
Yep, and
Charlie
you'll
the
find
Chocolate
out.
Factory. But for now, we should remember this. What are you going to rate it, Corey? Because you have to rate the real weekly rec. Decision time.
7.
7. Right. We hope you enjoyed our review of Tales of the Jedi. You've had a good time with this, Corey.
Yeah.
This was a great little mini-series. Go out and watch it. We should recommend it ourselves.
Yes.
Go and watch Tales of the Jedi,
Yes.
Disney Plus,
Yep.
6-episode series. Probably skip the first episode. 5 episodes. And have a nice time with it. It's a really enjoyable series. The Clone Wars guys are just absolutely amazing at Star Wars. I love Dave Filoni.
Yep.
Dave Filoni's a fantastic storyteller, and he's going to be working on the Ahsoka series, which is coming up next year or the year after, I believe, with Rosario Dawson, which would be great as well.
Correct.
But thank you very much for tuning in. May the Force be with you. It's a goodbye from me, goodbye, and a goodbye from Corey.
Goodbye.